Well, we'll start this video with me paying out 55 mil to a buddy of mine. I was a doubter, I was a hater. He said he'd give me 100 mil if England lost. I did him 55 if Sweden advanced, and apparently, boys, it's coming home. So we got ourselves a nice little debt to repay. Had to go and sell off the 99 crafting tab for that one, but I got other stuff I can sell, and yeah, there we go. Nice little debt repaid. So shout out to Skull and Fiery, both boys in the clan chat. Feel free to hit it up if you are not currently in one. Small EXP lamp, same as the YouTube name. But today we are here with what is a low-level crafting money-making guide. Now, this is something that is just honestly constant money. The profit does vary every now and then depending on how much you can make with certain items, but for the most part, these items are in demand, so there'll always be a somewhat decent margin that you can get. Now, as I said, it's low level, so should be accessible to a decent amount of people. It does require crafting levels. If we head on over to jewelry, we'll find what all of this actually entails. So the lower level stuff obviously isn't going to make as much money, considering more of these items aren't as useful, and they also can be done by so many more players that it's just not as easy to make money on. What we'll be looking at is jade jewelry, topaz jewelry, and opal jewelry. Now, the one that I'll be testing today is going to be making burning amulets, which I think is the best profit. To find what level you need, just look through here. Personally, for the burning amulets I'll be doing today, it is 45 crafting, and I'll give a nice little scroll through noting some. So here is the jade ring, you got the topaz ring, and yeah, I'll just scroll through while I talk. So what we're going to do is I'm going to test 1,000 of these bracelets. Ultimately, I'll calculate the profits of all of them, but I'll be testing the amulets as I said before. The burning amulets are the highest requirement out of all of them, but even at 45 crafting, that's not very hard to obtain. So if you're looking for what is going to be probably, I would imagine right now, the best money, then you'll want that. So you also need to take note of how much these items are bought and sold. If they're not bought and sold all that often, it's going to be hard for you to be able to resell your stuff, and the margins might not be very consistent. As far as how to do this money-making method, basically the items that you'll need are the appropriate gem for whatever type of jewelry you're crafting. You also need a silver bar for any of these types of jewelry. And on top of that, you do need the appropriate magic level to be able to enchant them. For topaz, this is 49. For jade, it is 27. And for opal, it is 7. With this, you basically need one cosmic rune and then whatever type of rune your spell requires. So for me, that's going to be a fire staff. Low-level magic isn't all that hard, so getting these levels shouldn't be all too unbearable for anyone. In addition, if you're doing amulets, you're going to need balls of wool to be able to make the amulet itself. With the other 3, you can just use the mold. And speaking of the mold, you'll need the appropriate mold for whatever you're crafting as well. So I'm going to be running these in Edgeville. Basically, in Edgeville, there is a furnace right here, a bank right here, and that makes for nice little short trips. What I'd recommend doing is making sure that you have your amulet mold out of your bank with no bank holders for the mold itself. Then fill the bank, and this will allow for you to be able to withdraw 13 of each of these every time you go. And whenever you come back and want to bank the rings that you have, you just press bank and your mold will stay, and these will not, and it'll allow you to bank just really easily. So the run is as so. All you have to do is go over here and click smelt. It's now actually easier than ever to be able to craft stuff, considering you don't have to use the bars on the furnace. Real nice stuff here. Obviously getting a decent amount of XP while I craft these, so you will be getting XP. So it's as simple as that. I just run a full inventory of topazes there, go back to the bank, bank again, grab another 13. You'll actually need a slot as well for the amulets. So knowing what I bought all of these items for, basically the supply cost for these 1,000 burning amulets was 5.53 mil, and since I just bought a burning amulet and know the price of it now, I know I can sell 1,000 of these for 6.749 mil. Overall collecting me 1.219 mil, and now it's just really a matter of how long will it take me to be able to craft 1,000 of these. So here I am, an hour and 50 minutes later. I've made all of my burning amulets, and I had to go back through and apply the rates that I found for these burning amulets to other sorts of amulets, and on top of that I had to adjust it for all of the other jewelry. One thing I did notice at the end, though, is I would have made more money off Bracelets of Slaughter, so that's pretty depressing, but I did make some pretty good money here, as we saw earlier. Now I'm going to go ahead and get into the rates as far as all of this jewelry goes. So looking at the top, we have Topaz. Opal should be the worst, Topaz should be the best, and Jade should be a middle ground for most people. The ones of note that I think are the Burning Amulet and the Bracelet of Slaughter. Both provide really good GP per hour and good overall XP per hour. Keep in mind the XP per hour is part crafting and part mage XP, so there is no So you're not getting 99k an hour in mage or crafting. It's a combination of both. In addition to that, the dodgy necklace is also pretty good at 400k GP per hour. The expeditious bracelet at 400k is also pretty decent, and the necklace of passage at 536k, also not too shabby. And then you can go about finding which one is best for you. If you're wondering what the question marks mean in the GP per hour, basically those are items that pretty much have no use. They're not really bought and sold all that much because no one really needs them in game, so they don't have a set price. You might be able to make a lot of money on a couple of them, but you won't sell anywhere near enough to be able to make it a sustainable method. So for that reason, I'd recommend staying away from those. So I'm going to offload these burning amulets and make ourselves a little bit of money. As far as this though, that is it for me this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, and on top of that, if there's anything you want to tell me, anything you want me to try, anything you want to see, just let me know. Just let me know. I'm a man trying to make a video, alright? Ultimately though, I hope you guys do have a wonderful day, and peace.